Hi guys, so this is Praveshika Kumar and welcome to the Bullet Journal December Plan with Me edition. Let's get started. So for the month of December, I decided to go very minimalistic but at the same time a little bit artistic as well because December for me is a month filled with a lot of deadlines and submissions with respect to college work. But at the same time, I wanted to be motivated to open my bullet journal and look at it and not feel, there's so much work. So basically, I decided to go with a nice happy doodle for my front page. So this doodle was inspired by another Instagrammer. I don't remember her name, I will put it down below. So I tried to take her basic doodle and decided to add a little bit of zhuzh to my cover page with it. So it's basically a Christmas bauble which has a little landscape drawn into it, which is hanging on a little wreath, I suppose. So basically I drew that with my micron fine tip, and then I decided to color in the buildings with a grey brush pen, and then I colored the outer part of the sky with black. And yeah, if you know me, I really like these kind of pen based doodles, and I've done them before as just doodles, but yeah. So while I was coloring the backdrop, I realized I could have used watercolors or color pencils or any other easier medium to color the backdrop in because it was a large area. But me being me, just finished it all with my brush pen because, also I've never tried using a watercolor base for my bullet journal, which I should try. Hopefully I will do it in the month of for the month of January. So moving on, I finished coloring the backdrop, and then I added a little moon and star / snow using my white Uniball gel pen. Well, because snow is a fantasy for me in the country that I live in. So yeah, let's make it all Christmassy, right? And then for my month, I wrote it out in block letters again with my micron fine tip on the bottom, and now I'm just adding some brown accents and just a little shading here and there. And then I realized it wasn't festive enough, so I decided to add a little festive embellishments because it's the season to be jolly. Okay, I should stop. Yeah, so I added little floral decorations, and then I colored them in with red and green because it's the theme of Christmas, you see. And then I also added a little bit of green to my the lettering. Sorry, my voice is very bad, I'm slightly sick. So anyway, moving on, the next is my month at a glance. So if you notice, this month I will be doing my month at a glance. It's just a calendar layout, which is a new format that I've used from the previous videos that I posted on my IGTV link. That's because, when it comes to bullet journaling, it's all about what you want to have and how efficient you think that spread is. So for me, this month I have a lot of things to write down, and I thought if I had everything in my month at a glance, it's going to look really, really messy. So I decided I would have a calendar layout where I would mention just the deadlines and probably important due dates in it. And I would refer to my weekly for all the submissions and what I need to keep track of and everything. So so basically I just drew a little box. I divided it equally for the number of the days and weeks, which is 31 for the case of December. And then I wrote down the name of the days, and now I'm just using a little red pen to add a little dots on top of which I would write the numbers because I wanted to add a little color of pop to my month at a glance. And that's when I realized a lot of people asked me about how do you know what to keep for your journal and what not to. Here's the answer for that. Your journal is everything that you want to have in it. It's all your making. So your journal should probably have every spread that you want to have. And how do you decide that? Trial and error. So use a couple of spreads, take inspirations, and see if it works for you. If it does, let it be there. If you think that spread is completely pointless for you, remove it off. Speaking of such spreads, I'm now doing my mood tracker. It's always been there. So this month I decided to go all festive and keep it all banners. So I drew 31 banners across my page, and then I numbered it 1 to 31, and then I gave a little key with my usual set of colors that I would probably highlight for each mood, and then I wrote mood tracker on it. So I always love having mood trackers in my bullet journal because I like to look back at the end of the month and see, hey, what did I do? Why did I feel this way? And all of that. Also helps me realize how many days I've been cranky, how many days I've been happy, and all of that. So once the mood tracker is done, I'm moving on to my habit tracker. So this month I realized my habit tracker should be a little more minimalistic because I just have already way too many things to do, and filling out individual habit trackers would just take more time. So for this month's habit tracker, I decided to go very, very minimalistic. So I just drew it all in a box. So I drew a box and then I divided it equally for the number of habits that I want to track, which in this case was 4: my exercise, water, reading, and doodling. And then I numbered 1 to 31 across the side of the box, lengthwise, I guess. Yeah, lengthwise. So that every day that I would do the habit, I would go and highlight it with a particular color or something, just to say, hey, I finished doing it. Once my habit tracker was done, I moved on to my expense tracker. This month's expense tracker was also very minimalistic. It's just a box divided into 2 that would say the date, how much I spent, and where I spent it. Because I realized most of my expenses, I'm tracking it on my phone or through my bank account or whatever. My dad's doing it. So this is just for me to save up on my pocket money and know how much I've spent. The next up is my most important spread for this month, which is my weekly. Why is it important this month? Is because everything that I'm going to be doing is going to be on my weekly, because I have a lot of things to do and track. So my weekly, I wanted it to be simple, easy, at the same time more efficient. So I just drew a banner which said which week I was on, and then I labeled each day and gave one particular section for the weekend. And if you also notice that all of my weeklies will have a lot of space after Friday, I did that on purpose because I wanted some place where I could just scribble and put down random thoughts that would probably not fit into any of my other areas or sections, or just a random place for me to write. Because I think a journal or a bullet journal is essentially existing because it's supposed to be controlled by you entirely. So what you keep in your journal, what you don't want to keep, how efficient it is all dependent on the person who's journaling. So if you're probably watching this video or anybody else's video for inspiration, it's only for inspiration. Use or make your spreads according to your will and how it's probably going to help you work out. If you're not a person who likes to keep weeklies, don't have them. It's all yours. You could probably try out swatches or other kind of spreads, which would be fun. So if you do new spreads, do let me know, please. I would love to look at it. And then finally I realized it was the end of 2018, so I decided to do a memories page. I genuinely don't know what I'm actually going to have in the memories page, but I still did put it there. Oh, and I also went back and added some accent colors to the weeks because I thought it was just not colorful enough. But yeah. So basically the memories page is there. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do. I might either stick pictures or write something on it, but yeah, that's exactly what I'm planning to do. And basically, like I said for one last time, for people who've asked me what to keep and what not to keep in your bullet journal, that is completely dependent on you. So try out a couple of spreads for a couple of months, and if there is a spread that you don't use at all, remove it. If there is a spread that you use the most, keep it every month. And I think every month's needs differs from person to person based on how much work they have or they don't have. But essentially the point of the bullet journal is for you to have fun, keep yourself highly inspired, and finally keep yourself busy, and at the same time make sure you get your work done. That's the whole purpose of the journal. It's supposed to keep you on track and make sure that you're doing things right and you're finishing it. Oh, and also I wanted to scream Happy New Year, so I actually screamed it on the page. I did write Happy New Year in the same font, and yeah, that's pretty much my journal spread for this month. And as you see me do flip throughs, please do let me know if you like the spreads, and let me know if you want to see more and what kind of videos you want to see. Until next time, bye bye.